Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We made it till Friday. Hope everybody's having a good one. Hope everybody's safe from what's her name? Hurricane Laura, I think, that passed through there. I know a couple of folks that were in the path, and I've seen where they've checked themselves safe on Facebook, so that's good. Hope there wasn't any damage or anything to their property and stuff. But anyway, we're going to get some of the remnants of that, I think, because they say it's going up and swinging around. Now it's going to hit North Georgia. So, yay! Anyway, let's see who we got hanging out with us today. We got Larry Galt's in the house. How you doing, Larry? Big D's here. Good to see you. Earl Walker also in the house. Going to put up 200 feet of fence. Okay. Good to see you, Earl. Mark Lindsay CNC's here. Lots of smoke from fires in California. Yeah, they're trying to burn that place down again. Happens every year. Don't even get me started about that. But LB Sharp's in the house. How you doing, LB? Steve in Toronto. Good morning, sir. Troy Pritchard. How you doing, Troy? JJ Woodshop. Good morning. Yeah, Jesse's one of them that was down there in the path of that thing. I think. Hope everything's well down there. Jim Sinicola. Only 75. Awesome. That is awesome. Janet's here. How you doing, Janet? Good to see you. Gary Hammett Wood Creations. Bill Hoffman watching this morning on Facebook. How you doing, Bill? Paul Stewart. Good to see you, Paul. There's Carol. How you doing, Carol? Bart Bixel over on Facebook. Mike Reynolds. George H. Rothfuss on Facebook this morning. How you doing, George? Hitch Hamilton back in Florida, I guess. Thunderstorms this afternoon. Yeah, same thing here. Doc Whitaker's in the house. How you doing, Doc? Steve Gronsky. Able to watch before golf. All right, good. Glad you stopped by, Steve. Appreciate you. Kevin Ailes is here this morning. And I think we're caught up on that. But today's a special day. I don't know if you guys remember, but my roving reporter, Doug Siss, should be joining me near about any minute, I guess. And he's going to give us a little tour of their facility. He's going to be talking a little bit about career education in America. And I can't wait to hear what he's got to say because, I think Doug, I feel safe in saying that Doug is kind of like me, and I'm a big, big fan of trade schools and stuff like that. College isn't for everybody. And we've seen what's happened, with the results we're getting out of the college kids here recently. So nothing wrong getting your hands dirty and making a good living. So he's going to talk about that a little bit today, I think. So while we wait for him to join us, I sent him the link and I hadn't heard from him. I guess I should probably open Facebook back up and check on him, make sure I'm not getting. Oh, wait, hold the phone. There he is. Hey, there's Mr. Sisk. How are you, Doug?
Just fine, buddy. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. What do you got for us today?
Well, I thought, considering your audience and the kind of people that will follow you, I thought it might be a good thing to just kind of talk about career and technical education in the country right now, where it's going, what it's doing. And kind of as a plug, I'd also like for your people to, with the talents that they have, maybe look into where their local career center is and how they could contribute to kids' education, because it's real important to me what's happening right now in the trade and industry side of things. The skills gap is a real thing. It's not something that politicians made up. It's not Corona. It's real. This is something that they could be a part of a young person's life and be a real help to an educator in the trade field. So I've got a huge place here. We're 5 acres under roof, and I have some technical problems in the fact that my phone does not get reception inside the building. So I'm kind of standing in the parking lot right now, entrance to our facility, and I'm going to take off walking. I'm going to give you some inside shots. I'm so proud of this place. I've been here 35 years. I've watched it grow to where it is now. We have over 35 programs here and offsite. And I'm going to take off, and then I'm going to explain some things to you.
Okay.
We are called Area 31 Career Center. And what that means is that we are a part of 11 different school corporations. 11 schools can send us students, and they send them for half their day. They spend 3 hours in our programs, either in the morning or the afternoon, and then go back to their regular school for their regular classes, government, English, math, those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. But
they
all of our
government.
Do what, buddy?
I said they still teach government.
Well, yeah, they do. we don't want to go that way, but
okay, yeah. Let's just talk about trades.
Yeah, they do that though. But we're focused on trade and industry here, and you'd be surprised, I think, what that means. We have programs in law enforcement. We have programs in cyber technology. We have programs in cosmetology. There's just so many different things. We actually have a full-blown restaurant here that's run by students. Our culinary arts program comes in the morning and prepares meals, and then in the afternoon they serve a cafeteria style. It's open to the public, so you're putting yourself out there because you got a product in front of people. But that's what we do. We do live work. I'm going to turn this around. I'm walking up here to my collision repair program. And we have, if I lose you, I'm going to try to go in a little bit. If I lose you, I promise I'll come back.
Okay.
But I want to show you some really cool stuff. As we come in here, hopefully you can see this because I'm not very good at this, but these are our paint booths. Mm-hmm. We have state-of-the-art technology here. Our paint mix room down on the end, and then we have 3 paint booths here that are as modern as you're going to find. We have sandblasting equipment. We have frame racks so they can learn how to straighten a frame or a unibody.
That looks like a NASCAR shop right there. That's amazing,
isn't it? And of course, then we have our classroom over here, and our tool room here where the kids check out their tools. But everything we do is a combination of things. We're a combination of classroom and live work. And these guys take in cars from the outside. Now, one of the things that becomes a little bit of an issue is how long your car has to be here. Let's say you have a rust issue, or you had somebody back into you at the parking lot, and you want to get a fender straightened out. In a normal shop, 2-3 days, you're in and out. Here, you got to remember that it's a training. So it's going to be there longer. It's going to stay there longer. But as I'm walking here, I want to get into some of the other stuff. Each one of us came from the trades. Very few of us have been trained to be teachers at college. And hardly any of us, I almost got ran over. Hardly any of us are.
It's a tough job being a roving reporter, I'm telling you.
It is, buddy. I'm going to tell you, I feel like I'm in the hurricane. But I want you to understand that these guys came from the industry. I was a builder before I became a construction teacher. Mr. Martinez in the auto shop has his own shop. So he saw the problems that we have getting people. And so he decided that he wanted to be a part of, educating these kids that next level. There's some really dedicated people here. And I hate to say this, but I've been here so long that a lot of these are former students who went on to be successful in their own right and now have come back to give back to the Career Center. I couldn't be any more proud of that. My co-teacher was my student 18 years ago. Both guys in this, I'm about to show you the auto shop, which, you said that looked like a NASCAR shop. Where do you see this one? This one looks like a dealership. I mean, it is set up just like a dealership, a big dealership. And again, these guys take on live work. They take on outside customers, and they have to be, the work has to be something. I got to be careful because my guy's on virtual in his room. So I think what I'll do is I'll walk in, I'll do like a scan around. Maybe you can hear Jimmy, one of our instructors, you can hear him in there. He's on his computer live with his class. We're on virtual day today. Yeah. And so he's teaching his lesson online. So I don't want to interrupt him and I don't want to make noise behind him. So I'm just going to walk in, give you a shot around the shop, and then I'll come back out and I'll talk about some other stuff.
Okay, sure. Wow, look at that. Detention.
Okay,
that was cool. That was very cool.
Isn't that a neat shop? And we're a 2-year program. So in other words, the kids sign up for their junior and senior year. And so they're here 3 hours a day for 2 years. And we get really close to our kids. We create a lot of show car clubs and stuff like that. That's what the truck was. That truck was built completely with donations. And the donations go to pay for a show car, and the kids come in not during school but after school and on the weekends to work on their club car, and they take it to shows and they go around and they won a lot of awards with different cars, vehicles that they built. It's just a cool thing to hook them into the car. I mean, car guys, that's what they want to do. They want to work on stuff like that. They don't care about grandma's Volkswagen or anything, but in order to get them hooked, they use those kinds of things. But then industry is really nice about donating cars. They have most of those cars you saw in there were industry cars. So our guys come in and trick them up and create problems in them, and then the kids have to analyze those problems and fix them. Mm-hmm. That way they're not, the first time they put their hands on a problem, it's not some customer's car, right, or the superintendent's truck, which has been in here a couple of times. That's always a scary thing, when the superintendent asks you to work on his stuff, because I mean that you're going to find out a lot from that. Yeah. But it's a great situation. And our program, our construction program, normally what we do is we build a house every year with the kids, a complete home from the ground up, and it's sold as a not-for-profit to somebody, and then that money goes back into the not-for-profit, and we do it again the following year. We try to go into neighborhoods or maybe run down a little bit or need some help property value wise, and we try to support them that way. This year with COVID and our limited classes, let me tell you about our hybrid schedule. This is craziness, okay? I have 50 some kids in our total program, first and second year combined. The most kids we have in the building at once are 13. And those kids come on a Monday, Tuesday schedule. They're in class, half of them, and half are in the morning and half. So it's fourth of them because it's the morning and afternoon. And then we do the same thing on Wednesday, Thursday, but that's a different group of kids. And then Friday's virtual day. Everybody stays home and we do virtual learning. So for us to build a house is impossible. We just don't have the man hours on the job. The school has been kind enough to create, well, I mean, they're going to benefit from it too, but they've created a project here at school, and they want us to build a storage building for them. It's a good size storage building, like 50 by 100. And it's a pole building, so it's going to go up pretty quick. And so that's the project we're going to do this year. And it's actually a 2-year project. And so we're hoping that after the 2 years, well, the people who are here are hoping, because I don't want to say this real loud, but I won't be here 2 years from now. I'll be at home, milking cows or whatever. But I'm so passionate about these programs. I really want people to look into their area and see if there's something like that in their area, and just contact them and find out if there's any program that you have a deep interest in, or maybe a skill level that you could contribute something to the program, because we've got to do something about this. I attended a meeting last year where it's Shield Sexton. You probably heard of them, Dave. The other people probably haven't, but they are a huge worldwide construction company, and they're based in Indianapolis. I was at a meeting where he was speaking, the CEO of that company, and he went in before he left the office and asked the people in the office, he said, based on the number of contracts we have today, how many carpenters do I have on my payroll? And they said 5,000. And he said, based on the number of projects I'm bidding right now, if I were to get those projects, how many more carpenters would I need besides that? And they said, another 5,000. I mean, he needs 5,000 next year. Well, we aren't producing that. I mean, I told you I have 50 some kids that, signed up for this class, but those kids, about half of them won't make it. I hate to say it that way. Our attrition level is high. As soon as they figure out work's involved about Thanksgiving, yeah, they're gone. Yeah. And the ones that stay, they're not sure what they want to do, but they know they don't want to do fast food, but they're not really sure they want to work out in 100-degree temperature and, all that kind of stuff. But I can't stress enough how much our kids can make. I know I've been here a long time, so I have students that are 45 years old now, former students, but I have an advisory committee, which I suggest anybody who wants to look into being on an advisory committee in some program. But my advisory committee is totally made up of my former students right now. There are 35 members, men and women, who are all in the industry. And I did a little poll and I asked them if I could use this number because I'm trying to promote this. All 35 of my former students filed taxes on over $100,000 in income last year. All 35, not a one of them under that. And that's where we are. I mean, and I'll put to you the other side of that. 2 of them attended 2-year universities and the rest of them went straight to work after high school. They either run their own businesses, or they're a subcontractor, or they're working for a contractor. It's just amazing what they can do if they put their mind to it. But we got to get them started here first at this level, and get that interest up. And we got to get that image parents have of, well, yeah, those are great programs. It's just not for my kid.
Yeah.
You're seeing the questions. I can't see anything. Is there anybody got any questions?
Let's see here. Anybody got any questions for Doug? I'm totally impressed with what you showed us inside there. Those are fantastic shops and stuff. And I know you haven't been able to do it this year. Of course, this year's crazy. but I know in the past I've always enjoyed seeing your Facebook posts, where you're building a house or, doing, just seeing them out there. And I've seen them where you post pictures and they're out there and it's freaking cold and they're out
Oh yeah.
working. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Well, we've shoveled snow off our floor so we could find our chalk lines to stand walls up. We've scraped ice off a roof to get shingles on it. I mean, we've done it all because we simulate actual. We're not simulating anything. We're creating actual live work for them, and they've got to understand. When you wake up in the morning in this business, you don't really have a lot of choices. If you want to make your mortgage payment, you got to go to work, and that's period. And granted, there are things that that are going to play into that. Yes, you're going to have sick days. Yes, you're going to have this and that, but the world we live in right now, I got kids that graduate and they want help getting a job. I said, no problem, I'll help you. And they'll go to that first interview and they'll get accepted and they'll hire them on and they'll say, well, before we really get into this, said, my family and I planned a vacation for next week, so I won't be able to start right away. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
yeah,
I just landed you a $22 an hour job. And the first thing you want to do is go and be, oh, well, it's just, hey, you got to see past your nose. You can't live in the day and the moment. You got to look at the future. Those paid vacations will come if you're working hard and, making that money down the road. But right now you got to go to work and show these people that, what your real intent is.
Right. I have a couple of questions popped in here.
Okay.
Sean Fairburn says, and I'll flip them up here. I don't know if you can read him. Says, how did you do fundraising to get started?
Well, we don't really, when you say fundraising, I don't know if you're talking about for equipment or for our projects. For our equipment, we work out of a federal fund called the Perkins Fund. And by the way, that's been tried. They've tried to eliminate that every year that I've been here. Some year when the budgets come up in Congress, everybody always tries to hammer the Perkins Fund. And that Perkins Fund is what funds our equipment. That's what gets us the materials and stuff, or not the materials, but the equipment and stuff that we need. And we're very fortunate to have, a great amount of that. Now, the way we get funded for our program is each student's school pays X number of dollars per student. And so basically the more students you have, the more funding you have. And we're limited. We kind of cap out at that 50 or 51, somewhere in that neighborhood, because we can't have that many kids on a job site. Now, as far as the projects go, the houses, that was really kind of, I don't want to say simple, but when you go to a not-for-profit who's in the building business, who's now, I'm not talking about Habitat for Humanity. I'm talking about something like that, but they'll let you perform all the task. When you tell them all the different trades that you're going to perform for them for free, you're it. And then, like the not-for-profits, they get funding from different organizations, and when they write their grant requests and it put in there that they partnered with a high school and it's going to benefit students, boy, their grant goes higher and higher. So as far as funding goes from that standpoint, even though Perkins is a battle every year, our programs are fairly well funded.
Mm-hmm. And I have another question here from Troy Pritchard. He's asked, where is the Career Center located?
We are physically attached to Ben Davis High School. At one time, when I first started here, Ben Davis High School was the third largest township school in the nation. We have over 3,500 students in 3 grades at the beginning of the year. But we're here in, the suburbs of Indianapolis. We have career centers established all over the state of Indiana, as do a lot of states. Now, the sad part about that is a lot of states have completely shut down their career centers. I totally don't understand that, and that's a discussion for another day. But here in Indiana, they're always combined with other schools. You could not have programs like this in one, like say, small high school. like where we come from, Danville. They couldn't have a program like this because they couldn't fund it and support it because you wouldn't have enough kids. But when you do a cooperative like this, where 11 schools go together, pool their funds, and then say, okay, let's make this the base. We're kind of in the center of everything. And then you can have nice programs and do what we do.
Mm-hmm. We got a question here from Hitch. Hitch Hamilton says, how does the school charge for auto repairs?
What they charge is materials only. They don't charge labor, but they do add like a percentage on. It's a low percentage, but they add on a percentage to cover some of the overhead cost. Because as you can tell, like if you're running 3 paint booths at the same time, there are things involved other than paint. Expenses are occurring all the time, so it just helps cover some of those expenses. No, the teachers do not get any of that money. It's just strictly for the programs.
Yeah. Carol asked, is there an age limit? How would one enroll in a program there?
In Indiana, these programs are available to juniors and seniors in high school. So as a sophomore, at the end of your sophomore year, if this is something that what we do is we invite every sophomore in the whole district to come in during their sophomore year. We have one open house night where they can come in and walk through every program with their parents, take a look at it, make a decision. And if they want to sign up for the full meal deal, they can come in for the 2 years at that point, the beginning of their junior year. Again, they're giving up half their day, so they're dedicated to it if they sign up, because they're not able to take electives like band and choir and stuff like that, because this is all of their electives. Whatever they choose here, that's their electives. But we do have an adult ed program. I'm not familiar really, other than the fact that it exists, and it only exists in a few programs. We have I'm going to walk here because I've got a couple of things. Hey, let me know about time too, because I know I got to be running.
We're good.
Let me give you a shot of this. This is our landscape program. And I don't know how much of it you can see, but this is our greenhouse. And not only inside that greenhouse do they raise plants, but they raise fish. We raise tilapia for our restaurant. And what they do is they have this really cool system where they use the fish manure, I guess I'll call it, and feed it back through the water in a hydroponic system, and they use it to fertilize the plants. So it's like you got this cycle of life going on inside there. It's really cool how it works.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a big tank and a baby tank, and they bring babies in on a regular basis so that they can keep it funded. And then we serve tilapia in the restaurant.
Cool. Carol asked another question here. Says, is it for Ben Davis students only?
No, it's 11 schools. It is for, I'm going to probably go out on a limb here and try to name them all. We are open to Danville, Cascade, Plainfield, Brownsburg, Avon, Decatur Central, all the Hendricks County schools, Decatur Central, Speedway, Pike. Who am I leaving out? I know I'm forgetting somebody. I didn't keep track. My fingers, I only have 5 fingers free to count on. So, but no, it's available to, I don't know what our total population of availability would be, but it'd have to be huge. It'd be 10,000 or more.
Okay, cool.
We serve 750 kids a day here. That's how many are under our roof when we're here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Okay, Janice got one. She says, does this give them graduating credits?
Oh, awesome question. I'm glad you asked, because what it does, every single program here is college credited. My program, for instance, if you're here for both years and you are successful for 4 semesters that you're here, and you score above 78 on the final exam, you can score as many as 15 college credits for free. and all of our programs are set up that way. We all have either Vincennes or Ivy Tech credits. We also have a number of certifications. Our welding program, for instance, we have an awesome welding program, machine tool. I wish I could think. I'm trying to visually go through my building. But all those have certifications to go along with them that are industry accepted certifications. Ours are NCCER, if you're familiar with who they are. But I have to complete those in order for them to get the college credit. They're also earning high school credit at the same time. So if they're not successful at the college level, then they can still, if they pass, under the general curriculum, if they pass that, they can get the high school credits, which is 3 credits.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Well, that's an amazing program you got to. I'm just going through the comments here. Everybody's it says Northwestern. Is that one of them?
Northwestern. What's the question?
Well, he just says Northwestern, so I'm not sure. Or maybe he was answering.
That's a university in Illinois.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Mark Lindsay says you folks have really built something to be proud of, Doug, and I would definitely agree there.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Carol says, can you post the website for his program, please? Is there a website?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Area 31 Career Center in Indianapolis. If you just go there, you just Google it, it'll take you right to our website. And then that website breaks out to all the different programs, and each one of us is on there. It shows everything. It's got video, it's got live pictures of students working, it's got the curriculum posted. It's a detailed website of everything that exists. And again, if you're local, I'd love for you to visit that. But if not, please try and find one in your area, because I've watched this now for a year or so, and I just keep seeing all these people that are so skilled and talented and doing all these things with, in their home. If you can share that knowledge, and believe me, instructors are open to these things because they don't know everything, and they're not going to say they do. But if you could be a part of that in some way and contribute to a kid's future, or just go in and talk to career classes, and say, hey, encourage people to go into the trades. We just have to build this really strong force of people out there, like-minded people who believe that the trades can be something really good for everybody, not just the old vocational. We're not that. We're not that dumping ground for the kid that you can't handle in regular class.
Right.
We have to be, because I'm telling you, my meeting this morning at 7:30 was my STEM certification meeting. We're a certified STEM school. We're teaching science, math, chemistry, engineering. We're using all those things to teach our curriculum.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, I'm going to, as soon as I get off here, Doug, I'm going to go get the link, and I will add it to both this Facebook and on YouTube, so that people that watch this after the fact as a recording and hear you talk about it, they'll be able to go down below and get the link and go check it out. So thanks very much for being here today, Doug. Awesome reporting as usual, even though there was no cows.
And I didn't say, come here, babe.
Yeah. And I'm so disappointed.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, thank you so much, Doug, for joining us this morning and giving us the tour. And I guess we are going to get out of here, folks. I've got to get to work.
Thanks for giving me a spot, Dave. I appreciate it.
No problem, buddy. All right, now let's just smile and wave, and we'll get out of here. See you guys.